In previous video, we have seen getter and setter methods. I said that for every property in a class, we can write getter and setter method. Let us learn about type of property methods that we can write. So I am calling it as types of properties. There are different type of properties like read and writable, just read only and write only. First, I will explain a read and writable property. We have seen a class for rectangle. Inside the class, we were having properties. So one of the property I will write on that was length, double length. This length of a rectangle, we can find out what is the length, and also we can change the length of a rectangle. So there is no problem in reading and writing the property of this rectangle, that is length and breadth. So for this, we provide get length method as well as set length method. Get length method will allow us to read the property, and set length method will allow us to write the property. So when both these methods are available, then the property becomes read writable. I will give one more example for read writable property. Let us take the example of student class. We have seen this type of class also. And in student class, let us take one of the property that is marks of one subject. So I'll just write M1. So this is marks of one of the subject. So I can read the marks. I can know what is the marks obtained in so and so subject by a student. As well as I can modify the marks. Means whenever examination is conducted, I can set the marks also. So we can write get M1 for getting the marks and set M1 for setting the marks. So this will be reading. So this method will be for reading. This method will be for writing. So like this in every class, almost every property will be read and writable only. More than 90% of the properties will be read and writable. Let us come to read only property. So first of all, I'll tell you what does it mean. A property which you are just allowed to read. Only get method will be there. Set method is not allowed. You cannot modify it. What are the situations in which we require just read only property? So I'll take the example of a student class only. I will first remove this. Take the example of a property that is roll number. Integer roll number of a student. When this roll number is given, whenever a student is taking admission, roll number is given to him. So in our programming, whenever an object of a student is created, then only we should give a roll number. Then afterwards, we cannot change a roll number. So we should have only get roll method, or you can write complete name, that is get roll number. I will just write get roll. So only this method you can write. You should not have method like set roll. There is no meaning of changing the roll number of a student. We cannot change it. We should have only get roll. So this type of property is read only property. I have one more example for read only. Take an example of a class account, a bank account or any account. So account will have a property that is account number, ACC number. Now this account number is given to an account whenever account is created or when you open an account. Later on, you cannot change this one. So in our programs, we should assign an account number only when an account is created, object of account is created. Later on, we should not allow modification of this account number. So we can just read that account number, get ACC number. You can have this type of method, but you cannot have set method. Set method is not allowed on this one. So this property becomes just a read only property. There is no meaning in having set method on this one. We cannot change account number. So such type of properties can be made as read only. So these are some real life examples I have given you. Now let us come to third type of property, that is write only. So this means that we can just write down the property value. We cannot read it. We cannot know it. So it means we can have only set method. We cannot have get method. Get method is not allowed. Only set method is allowed. So this is a very rare situation to show you from real life example, but internally in a software project, this type of thing may require. And this type of property may be required in between two classes or two threads or two programs. Like one program will read the value and the other program will just write the value. So we say, in general words, we say producer consumer. So producer will produce the value and consumer will consume the value. Producer will have just set method and consumer will have just get method, set and get method. So this type of programs, we will see them in multi-threading. That time I will show you. From real life situation, I will give you one example. I will remove this. Let us take an example of a class that is charity account. Charity account. This is a bank account of a charity organization. So account type itself is charity account and it is having one of the property that is balance. So double balance. So this shows the amount of money in this account. Now there is one more class called donor. A person who will donate for this charity organization. So he can deposit some amount in this account. So he can modify this balance, but he cannot know what is the current balance of this account. If this type of property or an account is accessible in a donor class, then donor can only modify this balance. He cannot know what is the current balance. So you can see here. So you can see here it is in between two different classes. So you can say donor is a producer or charity organization is a consumer. So people donate the amount and they will update this one and this charity organization will utilize that balance. So donor will write and charity organization will read and write. So they can know what is the balance and also they can withdraw the amount. So by which they can modify the balance. So it is just like, so in general we call it as producer consumer. So one of the class will set the value and the other classes will get the value. So from real life I have given one of the example, but inside the projects this type of mechanism may be required. So there we need write only properties. And it is useful across the classes or across the threads or across the programs. Now let us look at the demo for this one. I am using Notepad. I will write down a class rectangle and inside this I will have a property private double length. And if I write get and set methods both, then it becomes a read writable property. Set length method also length assign L. So we have already seen this. So now this property is read writable. So I have just written the code and shown you. We will be using in classes. Now I will modify this one. Instead of typing the whole thing once again, I will call it as student and student roll number. This should be just read only property. So I will remove this one. So the method name should be get roll number and it should return roll. So for this property or data member of a class, we have only one method, that is get roll number. So this becomes a read only property. Now next example, I will show you a write only property, producer. This is shared data. Shared data means it may be used by some other class or a thread. So it should have only set method because it is a producer. So set data. And it should take some value D and assign it to that shared data. Assign D. So this is how write only property looks like. It will have only set method which is modifying the data. So that's all. I have just given you the example codes also. So we will be using them later on. So we will come across these type of properties in our course. So that's all in this video.